My name is Mike Elrington. I'm an influencer. Mike Elrington here. I have 1,700 Instagram followers. You should listen to me. This is the first installment of the Build You Up podcast. And this is an idea that I've had in my mind for quite some time now, influenced by a lot of podcasters that I listen to and follow, people like Joe Rogan, people like Stephen Bartlett with Diary of the CEO, and in Australia, Mr. Craig Harper, who runs a very cool podcast called The You Project. So influenced by people like that and covering a broad range of topics. Obviously, my day job is as a musician, so that's what I've been doing for a long time now, 25 years in this crazy game of music and still doing it and loving it. So music will be definitely one of the topics, but we're going to cover a lot of other things. Areas of my interest, things like psychology, personal development, mental health is a big one for me. I really want to cover a lot of mental health stuff, and because I think we need to open up the discussion around that on a social and community level a lot more than it's starting to happen right now, which I like, but I think we need to extend further on that with the mental health stuff. And I want to have a focus on local people from around this area to begin with, and then we can expand that later on. I also want to talk about small business and entrepreneurship, something very, very close to my heart. Been a small business operator myself in music for a long time now. I know the struggle. Just like the rest of you, I know it. So I'd like to get local business people that run small businesses on the show and talk about what they do and promote what they do, promote the local area. I love living in Lakes Entrance. I've been living here for about 7 years now and feel very much at home here. There's nowhere else I'd rather live anywhere in the world. I've been fortunate enough to play my music across 17 countries throughout the world over the last 15 years and been able to see some pretty amazing parts of this beautiful planet that we live on, but there is nowhere else I would rather live than Lakes Entrance. So this is the first installment of the Build You Up podcast. That's sort of the general gist of what it's going to be about. I'm really excited and really pleased to be doing this with my good friend Jefferson Wolf. Say hello, Jeff. Do you want to?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Some of you have probably seen me on other podcasts. I've recorded some podcasts for one of the participants at Mosaic Elite Health. And my very first podcast, I'll tell you the story, was for a guy named Izar Bashar.
Right.
Now, Izar Bashar is the CEO of EHP Labs, which is a global supplement company that make protein shakes.
Oh, great.
You know OxyShred?
Yeah.
He's the boss of that, basically.
Wow. How'd you get him?
That's a long story.
Okay.
Well, basically, I'll make it short.
The short version.
When I was living in Melbourne,
Yep.
I was getting into gym.
Yep.
And, when you get into gym, you get into supplements. So
yeah, of course.
I found OxyShred and I was like, fuck, this is a really good product.
Yeah.
Really, really helped me.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started tagging the company on Instagram.
Yep.
Selfies, gym photos,
Yeah.
Hey guys, OxyShred is the best, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah.
Yeah.
After a couple of months of that, they started noticing it and invited me to work at one of their events in Melbourne.
That's great.
Expo. So, I obviously said yes, and I got to know everyone. And he actually offered me a job back then, but I refused. I actually accepted it first, but then I refused because at that same time, my business partner back then was like, no, stay in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And we'll make a music studio. I'll do all the clients and bookings. You just make the music, focus on your shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, I really love music. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
But I also really, I see that opportunity as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I chose the music route and I was like, sorry, dude, I'm going to stay in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Anyway, that music venture ended up going down the drain because he just wanted
As
me.
they often do.
I think he basically just wanted to be my business partner so I could record his music for free, sort of thing. Yeah.
Right. A musician wanting something for free. That never happens, does it?
So,
No.
long story short, I moved back to Swan Reach at my parents' house after my music career failed in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I saw on socials that Izzo was starting his own podcast, The Basher Effect.
Right.
And then I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I actually just gave him some constructive criticism on like how he could improve the audio quality and stuff like
The
that.
production value of it. Yeah.
And then he's like, you want to come to Sydney and produce my podcast?
Okay.
I was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went up to Sydney and that's my very first podcast with him.
Yeah.
Was with Dermot Gym owner.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I think I've seen some stuff.
Yeah. And then it just went from there. We recorded some of the friends he knows from business and
yeah. Great.
And yeah, like because my background is in audio.
Yeah.
I've been making music and mixing and stuff since I don't know 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Just in my bedroom, and then you learn a few things, and went to uni at SAE Institute in Port Melbourne.
Yep, I know it.
And ended up not finishing the course because I got an internship at a music studio.
Which one?
It was in Paran. It's called Melodic Music.
Sam Panetta?
Yeah, you know him?
Sam. Hey, Sam, if you're watching. I remember Sam.
Yeah, man.
He was a colourful character.
He is. And so I was like, I don't really need a piece of paper to do what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it, with music? Like a lot of people that are young getting into the business think that they need to go down the formal university route or route. So they go to SAE or they go to JMC or they go to TAFE and they do a music performance degree or a certificate, pay a lot of money for it. I've heard of fees of
$40,000 for me.
Fuck me. Are you serious?
2-year course, $40,000
For music production?
Audio engineering, yeah.
$40,000.
Yeah.
Can you hex that?
It is hexed, but it's
Have you paid it back?
no, it's just lingering there, and I haven't even like.
What are you talking about? You make $4.90 a fucking quarter from Spotify. You should have paid it back ages ago.
Oh man, I think it's because you're young and it's like you finish high school and people are like, yeah, you need to go to uni. And so you're like, all right, we'll go to uni.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think that's the influence that sort of mainstream education has on us and our parents and family as well. We think that anything that we want to do in life to become professional, well, we need to go and study it at university. And like that's definitely applicable for some professions.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like I wouldn't want to go to a heart surgeon that just kind of like winged it and learnt on the job. No. Yeah, I'll cut you open, and if you die, then well, who gives a shit? You know, I wouldn't want that from my heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, mind you, or anything medically related. I'd like to know that they did the ticket and they did the study. But for something like music and a creative sort of pursuit, it really is best learnt on the job. I reckon.
100%.
You know, like I grew up in Adelaide and started my music career over there, just going to blues jams on a Wednesday night with the South Australian Blues Society. Yasmin Farquhar, if you're watching this, I know you're on my friends list on Facebook. So shout out to you. How are you, mate? And I actually applied for a TAFE course to do music, but I had no theory knowledge. I went to a music school, Marriotteville High School, but I wasn't a music student. So and when I went to the audition at TAFE, they got me up there to play 3 pieces of music that I chose. So I did some like Jimi Hendrix songs. And then they sat there, all these academics said, can you please explain the flogal cadence of that interval on the 5th bar? And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I'm just playing a blues riff. And you're getting me to like explain the whatever. And I had no idea. So I went for the diploma course.
Yeah.
And clearly they realised how inept I was at music theory and that I had no fucking idea. They probably didn't care that I could play guitar okay. But yeah, I went for the music diploma course, and then they sent me a letter a few weeks later and said, "Oh, thank you for auditioning. We think you're more suited to the 18-week introduction to music course, which is better suited for beginners like you." And like that bruised my ego a little bit at the time, I'll be honest, because I was like, fuck you, I've been playing guitar for 8 hours a day for 2 years, which is true. And I thought I was at a level that was high enough to do the diploma course, and I didn't get into that. So anyway, I never went to uni. I never, pursued
You would have hated it anyway.
Huh?
You would have hated it anyway.
Oh, and I think they would have hated me, just like a lot of my teachers did at school. Yeah. But, I've pursued a career, been doing it 25 years, been able to see the world doing it, made 9 albums. I've always been able to make a living out of it. Sometimes it's better and sometimes it's worse. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. But yeah, there's always been a gig out there. And I think going back to what we were saying before with a creative thing like music, it's best learnt on the job, don't you reckon?
Yeah, it's subjective. Music is a any arts is a subjective experience.
Yeah.
If someone resonates with what you've made, your job's done.
Yeah.
But it's got to resonate with you first. You got to be like, I like that.
100%.
But there's also awareness of like, you might like it, but is it actually good? You know what I mean? Because there is people who like their own shit and it's like, yeah, I'm the best. But then it's
been me, but it kept me broke for a long time because other people thought otherwise.
That's why you got to have the awareness. Like,
of course,
okay,
absolutely.
It's not really resonating here, but that takes time to build up. I don't think you need a piece of paper to be able to create something that people really enjoy.
Not at all.
Really like.
I think in many ways it can almost be detrimental if you do, because I've met and worked with and employed a lot of musicians over the years from those schools that have those qualifications. And a lot of them, after a while, as they get older, get quite disillusioned with the whole game, because they when they started this course or this degree, they were probably thinking that this was going to be their ticket to a career. And then when they realised that once they get out of it, it's actually not like that. You've got to get your own gigs, you've got to do your own promo, you've got to put your own tours together, all this sort of stuff that they often don't teach in those courses. And then they get quite disillusioned, and often, in most cases, they end up becoming music teachers. And that's fine. I'm all for music teachers. I am one myself. I teach singing, I teach guitar, and I have been for a long time. Nothing against them, but that's not the reason they started the course in the first place. They started that course because they wanted to be a performer and they wanted to be an artist themselves. So yeah, it's
each to their own, man. Like, there's definitely a place and time to learn, all the music back end, I should say. Theory and all that.
Yeah.
Depends what you want to do.
Yeah, I think for me, because I always wanted to be a performer, my sort of study was gigs and putting myself up there. I remember the first gig that I ever did, and Yasmin, if you're still listening and I haven't bored you shitless yet, I am going to tell this story. So I used to go to this blues jam in Adelaide at the Governor Highmarsh Hotel. It was a Wednesday night, and I used to beg to borrow my mum's car to let me. Mum had an old Honda Civic. Hey, Mum, at the Elrington. I think it was like a $3,000 car. And I had to beg her to let me take it like to the other side of town to get to this gig. And I'd take my shitty old guitar and I'd get up and jam and play with the local musos at the jam night.
Yeah.
This was about 1997, 1998 era. And you'd get 3 songs. You just get up and play. And I wasn't singing at the time. And I kept going every week. It just became my thing. Prior to getting full on into music, I had a rowing scholarship with the Sports Institute in Adelaide, and I did that for 2 years and wasn't good enough to go compete in the Olympics and all that. So I quit that and then got, what else am I passionate about in life? I've been playing guitar for about 5 years and then just started going to these gigs. And after about a year or so, Yasmin noticed how sort of committed I was to going to these things every week. I was always there and always get up and play 3 songs and play a few licks, all that sort of stuff. She offered me a gig. She said, do you want to come do a gig and open up for the local house band? And when she asked me that, I was petrified. I was like, oh, I can't do a gig. And she also said, do you want a gig? And we're going to pay you $20. And I was like, I don't deserve to get paid. What? No, I can't. I thank you. And it was really overwhelming at the time because I was like, no, I'm not ready for this, but thank you. I'm going to just give me some time. And if I get to the point where I feel I'm ready to go do a gig, I'll do it. So about 6, as she said, she never put any pressure on me at all. Like she said, another 6 months went by, I kept going, and occasionally she'd ask, so do you feel like doing that gig yet? And I'd always say, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Because I knew that I had to sing as well, and I couldn't sing. You know, I was petrified of that, right? And eventually I thought, but I was practicing heaps of guitar at home and listening to Buddy Guy and Howlin' Wolf and all these old blues, Muddy Waters, all these old blues records, learning. And eventually I thought, right, now fuck this. Get over yourself, Michael. Get up and do the gig. So I said, yes, or we do it. Well, I'll do it.
Bit the bullet.
And we set a date. And I remember the first gig that I did, and I had a very good friend of mine, John Lenarduzzi. Hey, John, I'm sure you'll be watching this at some stage. A great guitar player that I met through another friend I went to school with, Craig Lenarduzzi, his brother, and I got him to play guitar for me. So I did 8 songs. I did 4 on my own, and then I got John up to play with me. And yeah, we probably played like a half an hour set, and I was so nervous, man. And I remember that gig was January the 12th, 1998, I reckon. First ever gig that old fucking Elrington did. And I was shit scared, but I did it.
Yep.
And people liked it. I probably sung like absolute shit, but I did it and people liked it. And I got off stage and Yasmin said, that was great. You're going places. I was like, well, hold on, no. I just start now. Don't say that. But yeah, that's that. And from there, doing those gigs and just getting the match practice in, I guess, and the match fitness into just regularly performing. And then the more you do something, whether it's music, sport, podcasting, media, the more you just do the thing, well, by default, you're going to get better at it. The more of it you do.
You're going to work out some shit. You're going to be like, oh, okay, this didn't work.
Yeah.
This worked.
Yeah.
And then you get your confidence because you've done it before. So it's like, oh, I'm less nervous now.
Yeah.
Because at the very start, I'm assuming you had a bunch of butterflies in your stomach.
Oh,
you know
man,
what I mean?
I was like fully shitting myself.
Yeah, and now
not literally shitting myself, but like I've done that before. That's another story. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Which involves a lot of alcohol, but that's not for today.
But now you would get on stage and I'm assuming, do you still get butterflies or?
I do. I guess it depends on the gig.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm playing in a little pub in front of, 20 drunks that probably aren't even listening, well, yeah, I don't get nervous about that. But if I'm doing a bigger show, like the last one I can remember where I really felt that, I got to open up for the Doobie Brothers in Brisbane at the Tivoli Theatre in front of 1,500 people, probably the biggest gig I've ever done. And yeah, man, that was
Butterflies.
yeah, that was full on. That was, yeah. Shout out to Michael Chugg. Hey, brother, the promoter. He gave me that gig and yeah, I was fucking nervous before that. But I got up there and it went great, and the band came out and watched it, and and then I got up to sing with them on their big hit, Listen to the Music.
Oh, nice.
Which was an amazing experience, probably one of the highlights of my whole career. So I think nerves are in whatever you do, whether it's music or, whenever you're doing something, nerves are good because they show that you care. And they show that you care enough to really want to do a good job. But you also know that, you could fuck it up. You could make mistakes, but, you can learn from that. And every gig is another opportunity to get a little bit better or a little bit worse if because I've had this issue before. I don't know about you, but I've had periods in my career where I thought I was King Dick and I was so fucking arrogant and I thought I deserved to be some big rich rock star and, you know, I thought the whole world owed me something and I never achieved those things and I got angry with it. And then if you let the arrogance play into the mind, well, that makes you worse, I think.
Well, that's expectations. You can't be like, this deserves to happen to me, or I deserve to have that, or this should be this way.
Yeah.
That's not how the world works.
No, absolutely.
The world is what it is.
Yeah.
And you can't expect it to be something else other than what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is what it is.
So expectations are just going to bring you all these negative emotions, you know?
True, but should we still have high goals?
You should 100% still have a high goal. Just do the work.
Yeah.
Let the work speak for you. You know what I mean? That's how I live my life.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I love that.
I'm 100% for big goals. I have very big goals.
Yeah, so do I.
But I don't expect that it should be given to me or, you know, this should happen now.
Yeah.
I know that there's a process and there's ways to get there.
Yeah.
You need to meet some people. You need to do some shit.
Yeah.
And that comes back to the awareness thing I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. You got to trust the process and have fun along the way.
100%.
You know?
The moment we're in right now, it's like that's the only thing that's happening.
That's all we ever have.
What's happening right now,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
If you just spend your time thinking about, you know, yesterday this should have happened or in the future this is, you know, blah, blah. You're not enjoying your time right now.
No.
You know?
No.
In any situation you're at, I know it's hard to think of it all the time, but it's like, that's where you are.
Yeah.
And a good skill to have is to be in a good mood and, you know, be useful to people around you.
Yeah. You said before when you left Melbourne and I think came back here and the exact words you used when my music career failed and I came back here, what was it about it that made you feel and think that it failed at that particular time?
It was the business. So we started a business, me and my business partner.
Music production
business. Yeah. We probably went for a good 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And when you're, you know, starting a business plus paying rent, plus paying car payments and living in Melbourne, you know what I mean? It's a hard thing to do.
That's easy.
For a young 24, 25-year-old, you know?
It's easy. Just go 200 grand into debt with no clue of how you fucking pay it back. What's so hard about that? What are you whinging about? Come on.
Well, I was already 40 grand in debt from the university, remember? So.
Yeah, but that's HECS. That's the government.
Yeah.
That's on the Never. That's the credit card you don't have to pay back. No, I didn't say that. Can we delete that? No, let's fucking leave it in. This is open discussion.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Going back to, feeling like did you feel like your whole career was a failure or just that particular venture?
Just that particular venture.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not a doom guy where it's like, everything's over, you know.
That's good.
I have a analytical mind where it's like, all right, that didn't work. Let's go. Let's move on to the next thing.
Because a lot of us musicians can be a bit doomy, right? Especially us artists, because I think we're, in many ways, our own worst enemy most of the time. And I've certainly done this myself, where if a number of things that we wanted to happen in our career don't work out, we get negged out, we get depressed, and we're like, oh, it's over, I'm fucked, I don't want to do it anymore. And I've been in that situation in my career numerous times. But then, you know, after a while, you get even more empty because you're like, well, what else is there in life beyond music? And for me, I mean, I'm interested in lots of other things, of course, but music's always been sort of front and center for me, and music's always been the thing that's kept me alive. Not just financially and economically, but it goes much deeper than that. It's just given me a really strong sense of purpose, and it's like what I was sort of born to do.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the same thing for me.
Yeah,
I remember The first memory of music I had was when I was probably like 4 or 5 years old.
Who was it that you, or what?
I have no
artist or
idea.
band
I was
did you
just
first
laying
hear?
on the floor when I was living in Philippines, and there was a radio there. I was like, I like this. I like the sound, you know?
Did you grow up in Manila?
No, I grew up in Chocolate Hills. It's in Bohol.
I haven't been to the Philippines. I do really want to go though.
Yeah,
Did you spend a lot of time in Manila? I hear that's like a huge city.
No. We're a province family, so
Yeah.
we only go to Manila when it's like the airport or
Do
something.
you like Manila or?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent too much time there.
Yeah.
I've spent time in Cavite, which is like an hour or so away from Manila.
Yeah.
But I have been in Manila and I've seen, you know, the culture there and the people, and it's growing.
Like 7 million people there. Or something.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I googled it once. Australia's got like something like 18 million people.
No, I think we got 26,
20?
27
Okay.
now.
About that. 20 something, 18, whatever. The Philippines has got like 118, 120.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the population difference.
In a landmass the size of, I don't know, Victoria or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, see, I just can't. It's so hard to fathom that.
There's a lot of
Many
people.
that much density, you know? Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
But Filipinos are some of the best singers you'll ever
Oh, man.
see and hear in your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
For some reason, that country,
Produces a lot of talent.
they just sing. They love singing. They love music. That's probably why I like music.
Yeah. Yeah. They make good athletes too. I remember I used to play a lot of basketball when I was younger, and I love basketball. And I remember playing in the Filipino league
Okay.
or going to watch those guys play. There was a Filipino league in Adelaide that I used to go and watch, and they were great ballers, man, like really good athletes and just
I think we just get obsessed with things.
yeah.
Just stick to the one thing.
Yeah, and I've heard some of your singers, and fuck me, like I need to hit them up for lessons. They can show me.
But that comes back to how much time did you put into that particular thing that you're doing?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Obviously, the guys, the Filipino guys who can sing really well, that's all they do
that's all they do. Yeah,
every day
yeah,
for fun.
yeah.
Get drunk, sing some karaoke.
Now, but in your experience, from what you've seen of when they do that, those real obsessive, talented singers, are they thinking that they want to do it for a living and get paid for it?
No, they're just in the moment. They're enjoying their moment, singing, being around friends, food. It's part of the culture, you know.
Do you sing as well?
No.
But you play guitar.
I play guitar, instruments and stuff.
Was singing ever something that you wanted to?
No, not really. I don't know. I fell into the production because I like computers.
Yeah.
And I was
Noticed.
I was too lazy to, like, I'm lazy, man. I'm that lazy. I can't be fucked plugging in the guitar and trying to learn this lick to try and perfect it. So
but you set up this fucking professional like podcast studio that we're sitting in right now with all this gear that I wouldn't know how to work, you know.
Yeah,
so
that's easy for me.
Yeah, but you have a level of comfort in doing this stuff, which is like does my head in, and I couldn't do it. But yet plugging a guitar in, you can't be fucked doing that. Whereas I do that all the time.
Yeah, everyone has different.
They do
different things. Yeah. It happens to be my forte, as they call it, media and digital content.
And I think folks like you these days, especially in this new media world that we're in, where a lot more people are doing things like this, having their own podcasts, and it's a lot more possible now for the average regular Joe like you and me to have a voice. Now, whereas 20, 30 years ago when we were kids growing up, well, there was mainstream media and there was the news and the radio, and that was sort of it. And you had to, there wasn't much of an alternative beyond that. Like now, it's
now
like,
you can just pick up a phone, record a video,
open start,
and 2 seconds later it's on the internet for anyone to see.
I think it's really exciting, man.
But there is things in place, like if you don't have a verified account on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, your post will probably only see about 10% of your audience.
Yeah.
Only 10% of your audience will see
That's a fair point.
So little things like that.
Yeah.
Social media is a pay-to-play game.
Yeah. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that because they are allowing us the opportunity to leverage off their platform.
Yeah.
And, a lot of us use social media to make money out of what we do. Mm-hmm. And so, it's only fair that it is pay to play.
I think back in the day, how much did it used to cost to put something in the newspaper or an advertisement on TV or thousands of dollars?
Yeah.
It's free now.
Yeah.
It's literally free.
That's right. Yeah. As a producer, this is a music production question, going back to vocals, when you've recorded singers before, how have you gone about tracking them? I mean, you're not a singer yourself, but you're a producer. So how closely do you work with them to get the best performances out of them as singers when you're not a singer yourself? This is something that I'm really intrigued by when I talk to producers that don't sing themselves.
Yep. So basically, I've got a really good ear. It's not perfect pitch, but it's relative pitch. It's very close.
Yeah.
So I can tell when a singer is out of tune or the expression is not
quite there.
Yeah. So I'll tell them straight up, like, instead of try hard, stuff like that.
Great.
The timing is very important.
Yeah, of course.
With singers.
Yeah. What about emotion? So, like all the singers you've worked with, do you get lyric sheets from them before you track vocals? So you know what the lyrics are?
No.
Not that is essential, it's not. But have you had situations where you're trying to track vocals and you feel like the singer just isn't putting enough emotion into the lyric? Have you had moments like that?
100%.
And how do you sort of, because singers, we can be a real temperamental bunch and we've got fragile egos and often we don't like anyone saying that we're not amazing.
No, it's how you word it.
How have you gone about that?
Yeah, I word it in a way where it's like, for example, if a singer is singing about their deceased brother or something,
Yeah.
I literally tell them, like, I need you to really think about this person and maybe even put some photos up because, like, capturing that emotion is
it's a really important part of it.
Super important.
Yeah.
There's the emotional deliverance and then there's the I've performed it perfectly.
Technical deliverance.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the emotional deliverance always sounds better and it's always
more important, isn't it?
It's always the one I go to. So,
and if you don't get that emotion from them when you're tracking, you can't really fix it in the mix, eh?
No.
You can't use a plugin to.
No, there's no emotional plugin.
There's no
turn up the emotion.
Pull up a Waves plugin that says sadness or happiness. Maybe they're trying to do that right now with AI. Who knows? But
probably won't achieve it.
It would be sad if they did, and it would be even sadder if.
I don't think it can be replicated, man.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's got to be a human thing, and. We can touch briefly on AI today. Maybe we do a whole separate episode about that. A lot of artists are concerned that because AI is now getting really fucking good.
Yeah, I know.
You've heard what it does. And basically the concern and the contention that a lot of artists have in the music community and the music space is that these AI bots are stealing our recordings that we've made as humans and feeding that into their robots to then spit out, even better versions of us, but they're not us. You know what I mean? And they're concerned about that. But that's just technology. And, people use it's stealing, but man, artists have been stealing from each other for a long time, bro. Like, come on. I've heard some original, I read a few articles years and years ago saying, Led Zeppelin are a bunch of thieves and Stairway to Heaven was stolen. And then that's a bit wild. And then I heard some recordings of some folk band that I've never heard of from America that apparently wrote Stairway to Heaven before Zeppelin did.
But 100% that structure and was it just the melody?
Man, it was so close. It was like, I thought, fuck. And this was before AI. This is, you couldn't fake anything. Like it was an original sound recording. And I can't remember who it was. I have to research it. I'm sure the viewers are probably researching it now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a heap of comments in my DMs. Hey, it was this band, you fucking idiot, whatever. But yeah, man, it was identical. I was like, wow, did they steal that? Who knows? So this whole thing of like stealing, it's been going on. It's not new. And I think AI, we've just got to look at it, I think, as a tool to use. As long as what we release to the world and what we put on our recordings is us singing and us playing, that's really what matters the most, I think.
So how I see it is we'll just scope it to the music subject, AI music.
Yeah.
And what we said before is music is subjective, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if the listener likes it, they're gonna save it to their playlist,
Yeah.
There's no point in saying, fuck you,
I know.
It's just like,
That's
this is what it is.
Doing, they're just like revolting against it, but it's like...
It's there, it's present, it's not going away. And so...
I feel like revolting against it is like, you seen the gif of Grandpa Simpson yelling at the clouds. It's like, fuck you, clouds.
Yeah.
Fuck you, blue sky. Go away. Fuck off. It's like, who cares? It's here to stay.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away.
And it's a tool, like you said.
Yeah, I think...
The way I see AI is like the transition from horses to cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
Some people are still in the horse days where they're like, you know what I mean? But the people using cars, they're like, I don't care. I'm just
have you researched the history of this? There was a revolt against cars when they first came out. A lot of people said, no, we don't want cars.
There was a revolt against seatbelts, bro.
Really?
When they first tried to introduce seatbelts, everyone was...
Seatbelts?
Yeah.
Who complained about it?
I don't know, I saw it on Joe Rogan once, but...
Joe, come on our show. We want you.
There's a YouTube clip of, I don't know where they were, somewhere in America, and they were interviewing these car drivers. And they were like, they're taking away our freedoms and blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how I view people who shit on AI. And I'm here using AI to leverage myself, my situation.
Your business. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like you said, it's a tool which, you learn how to use it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that comes to me is like people hate what they don't know. Or people are afraid of
that
what
is
they
true.
don't know.
Yeah, so that is very true.
They just default to fear and anger.
Yeah, we could do a whole separate episode on fear. Although I have very strong feelings and thoughts about that, and it plays into the wannabe psychologist in me. We do want some psychologists on here, so if there's any local psychologists that are happy to come on the show, please get in touch with me or Jeff, because I'm fascinated by psychologists and would like to align myself with the real ones because I'm a fake one, But the psychology of fear is really interesting, where it starts, how it plays out in our lives. And I do feel that most of us are too consumed by our own fear, and it just prevents so many great things in life from happening,
Yeah, there is a big topic, and it probably will have to be on a separate podcast. But going back to fear, your fear of playing that first gig really consumed you until someone gave you a push and was like, "Go on, give it a go," and then you eventually were like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
Once you do that a few times, fear goes away.
Yeah. For 2 years, I've been fearing this podcast. Maybe not fear. Fear isn't a huge thing for me. It's like, I'll be honest, I'm pretty confident and I'll give anything a go. Mm-hmm. No, I know full well that, most of the shots I take on things will miss, but occasionally they hit. And when they hit, normally pretty good.
That's life.
And that is life. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this podcast for quite a few years now, but just a little bit of fear, hesitation. Oh, how do I do it? I don't know. I don't have all the technical stuff I don't know who could help me. And and then I saw what you were doing for like local businesses around here, especially at Servo and the 39, the barbecue, American barbecue place.
Yep.
Because I used to play there, and I think you filmed me one day.
Yeah, I got heaps of clips of you.
Yeah. I might buy them off you.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just give them to you, man. It's all good. They're on my hard drives.
Yeah. And then I saw what you did, and so I thought, well, yeah, I thought I'd ask you about it. I think I first asked you about this, it was a while ago. And I never
the shop,
sort of did anything on it. So I'm glad that this is the first one.
Yeah, no, things just, in my life anyway, things just happen at the right time.
Yeah.
I might not see it at the time as the right time, but there's been so many events in my life where it's like perfect timing every time.
Yeah.
Just like me going to Sydney and working with EHP and saying no at the start. And it's all, I don't know. You can say it's fate. You can say it's, luck. But I just have trust in what I'm doing is right. And just basically do good things, help people, and, things will happen at the right time.
Yeah. And look, there might be a little bit of fate and luck. I'm not a big believer in luck. I kind of don't like the whole concept. That's for a separate discussion. You could do a whole podcast on luck. I'll get pretty fiery on that one. Don't you worry. But back to you. I mean, you've done the work to create these opportunities and situations for yourself. So I think there really is a lot to say about just doing the fucking work.
100%. People don't see the hours that I've spent fucking just learning how to use Photoshop, learning how to use Lightroom. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No one sees that. They only need to see what I can do now. And it's like, well,
And I get similar thing as well, like in my formative years of like really getting heavily into guitar, I used to play guitar for 6 to 8 hours a day at my mum's house. And
calluses.
I used to play so loud. We used to get noise complaints all the time. The cops would come round and eventually we got evicted. Sorry, Mum. I know I've told this story a few times on Facebook. We may as well give it a mention on the podcast. But and I felt horrible about that. But the lure of the guitar and, cranking up that amplifier and, learning a Jimi Hendrix lick or a Stevie Ray Vaughan lick or an Eric Clapton lick was just too strong. I couldn't ignore it, but just putting that time in, I made it my number one focus and mission in life to get good as a guitar player, get to the level that I wanted to get at. And it's never for me to say, oh, I'm the best or I'm the best in the world. Fuck that.
There's always levels, man.
There's always more room to grow. But I guess I just wanted to get to a level within myself that I believed was good enough to go out and play local gigs and, make a few $100 for a gig. That was all I wanted, So, yeah.
Look at you now. You're,
still getting a few $100 a gig. You're around here. You're getting fucking more.
You're getting a bit more interstate gigs, I should say.
I've done a lot overseas as well, and I've got some new stuff opening up in Nashville at the moment with a new producer over there. And I've done a lot of gigs in the States, Canada, and bit in Europe and New Zealand and all that, but most of the stuff has been in Australia. And look, I sit here and complain, but I've been fortunate enough to make enough out of music to keep my head above water for all this time. And there's definitely, like, for anyone out there who says or who wants to think, oh, there's no money in music, that is fucking bullshit. There's heaps of money in music. All right, there's only a very small percentage of people in this industry that are making the bulk of the money. and the rest of us are sort of fighting over scraps. But there's plenty of money there.
In this town, in this world, really, people always need music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a bar with a live musician is always much more fun and better environment to be in than a bar with no music. I mean, I personally think that I'd rather be in a bar with live music and
totally agree. So for all you venues around here that aren't doing music, fucking pull your shit together and put music on.
Yeah, it just creates a good vibe, man.
Yeah.
Gets people coming back.
Especially if you stack that up against, what other venues provide with fucking poker machines and, a million screens of gambling stuff and, let's compare the experience there. Now, if people want to place bets and stuff like that, like I was a gambling addict for a few years, and we'll get to that on another. I could do a whole podcast about that. I placed in excess of 170,000 bets in 3 years and was right into it. I made a little bit of money, but whatever. But I've stopped that. I'm not doing it anymore. Like, if people want to place bets, that's fine, But I think as a community, we've got to be mindful of the experience that we're providing to the public in these sorts of venues. And I think there's got to be a fairer representation of live music up against poker machines, gambling and sport. I love sport. Don't get me wrong, I love that too. But, I don't believe we should have a situation where, 8 out of 10 venues are just offering nothing but pokies and gambling and sport with no music. It should be the other way around, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We could do a whole episode.
Yeah, I know.
Because the venue's going to be sitting there going, well, that's what makes us money. And I know that it makes you money. And it saddens me that so many people feel that they have to find some sense of solace in a fucking poker machine that offers you no advantage to get good at it. You're never gonna game that pokey. You're never gonna outsmart it. It's always gonna be smarter than you. You can't win against them. But people think that, Anyway.
another topic for
our podcast. Fuck yeah, we could go to town on that shit, brother.
Yeah.
But
we've covered a lot of topics
already.
This first podcast. we're still getting used to this, we're working it out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're just having a conversation.
Yeah, man.
Two blokes having a conversation.
Yeah.
And we want to involve you guys in the conversation,
Yeah. Yeah, we do. And we want to get guests on here. I've got a few people in mind. Jeff does too. Start with sort of local guests around Lakes Entrance and East Gippsland and a broad sort of cross-section of the community. Another area that I really want to discuss on this podcast is local community issues, especially in relation to youth. There's a lot of drug and alcohol addiction issues, especially with youth and a lot of families around here. And I think it would be really helpful and beneficial for us to open up that discussion a bit more, get some counsellors on here, some youth workers, some drug and alcohol counsellors.
We basically want this podcast to be as beneficial to the community as possible.
100%. I mean, that's why we're doing it, right?
Yeah.
And we've got the local community around here to serve first.
Yeah.
And then, we can branch out.
We'll stick with
that later. But we also want to promote, this beautiful part of the world
100%.
To the world.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking amazing place.
I fucking live 5 minutes away from the beach, man. Like that's amazing.
Yeah. Like I said before, like I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the world. If we won Lotto tomorrow, bro, and we had $10 million or something, I wouldn't say no to that. Would you say no to that?
Fuck no.
Of course not. And let's say that happened and we could live anywhere else in the world. Would you pick anywhere else? Be honest.
No. Well, what keeps me here is my past. I went to high school here, St. Brendan's, and the people here. Yeah. I've met so many people here that. It's just they've always been really nice to me. Yeah. And also my parents is in this area. So it's like I don't need to be anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
With
Can we have a mansion in the south of France to go on holiday?
on holiday, yeah, sure.
Yeah, just one or two, or
I think one is enough.
one's enough. Yeah, and maybe a mansion in the Philippines as well. You can go home.
Let's see.
Don't mind me. But yeah, let's promote this local area.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of talented, smart, and interesting people around here.
100%. Yeah.
And we want to talk to you.
Yeah. Get them on. All right.
Awesome, man.
Okay.
This has been awesome.
That's a good one, bro.
Good job.
First of many.
Yeah.
Let's strap in for the ride, eh?
Strap in. Strap on.
Strap on. That's a separate podcast that has a 18 plus.
We haven't discussed if we want to swear. I reckon we should. Fuck
yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah.
We probably don't have to swear as much as I do on some of my Facebook posts.